The wait is over. James Harden is back. He plays his first preseason game today for the Houston Rockets. Not for the Brooklyn Nets, not for the Philadelphia Sixers, and definitely not for the Miami Heat. Now, will this stay the same, or will James Harden still be traded? If you guys have seen my videos in the past, you guys know I am a huge James Harden fan, and I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what I think about this situation. I am not a Houston Rockets fan, but that being said, I actually do believe James Harden should stay in Houston, and let me tell you why. I feel like Russell Westbrook and James Harden just have two completely different games. They play at two different paces, and it just didn't work out for either of them. The Houston Rockets, I feel like, by getting rid of their center, Clint Capella, hurt James Harden in a big way and helped Russell Westbrook. But when the playoffs came around, Russell Westbrook didn't perform as expected. The Houston Rockets love James Harden. They know they can't leave him, and there's no really equal trade value for James Harden in the NBA today. James Harden has averaged over 30 points a game the last 3 seasons. How are you going to trade him to the Brooklyn Nets, where he wants to play with 2 other superstars without getting a superstar in return? So I understand this Rockets situation. Now, James Harden is under contract. Technically, he has to play for the Houston Rockets, but I'm going to explain why this man wants to leave Houston. For the last 3 years, James Harden has averaged over 30 points per game and is still constantly being disrespected by NBA fans and analysts. And this is due mainly because he has not won a championship and has not succeeded in the playoffs. James Harden wants to win. His patience is getting thin, and that's why he wants to join a super team. But what he doesn't know is this might be a very, very big opportunity for him in Houston. If you guys think back, Kobe Bryant was frustrated with the Los Angeles Lakers in the early 2000s and actually told management that he wants to request a trade. And the Lakers kind of did the same thing that the Rockets said. We can't really get equal trade value for you. Plus, we don't want you to leave. James Harden is in the same situation. Now, a lot of people want to say that Kobe Bryant's team was much worse than James Harden, and James Harden had the help of Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. But what people don't really understand are those 2 players are probably the worst 2 fits for James Harden in the entire NBA. And James Harden wants to go to Brooklyn, where the fit is just going to be even worse with Kyrie Irving. James Harden is a dominant ball handler. He needs the ball in the hands, and you need to surround him with unselfish players who like to move the ball and can shoot open shots. James Harden is also best when he has a big man to work the pick and roll with, as he led the league with Clint Capella as most lobs in the NBA. The Houston Rockets screwed James Harden over last year, trying to help Russell Westbrook with his spacing so he could ISO more often, and this actually hurt the Rockets in the playoffs. The Rockets now have big Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins, and now he has a different type of point guard, John Wall. John Wall is the most pass-first point guard that James Harden has had. Now, a lot of people could say Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is very ball dominant. Russell Westbrook is very ball dominant. I believe that John Wall does not need the ball as much as those 2 players, and I feel like this is a very great fit for James Harden. I really hope that James Harden chooses to play this regular season with the Houston Rockets and judges his decision based off this season. Maybe the Houston Rockets are destined for a championship this year after a lot of struggling years for James Harden and the Houston Rockets. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It helps the channel out tremendously, and think about subscribing to the channel so you do not miss out on future NBA talk. Anyways, y'all, hope you guys have a blessed day. This is ZTAY. Peace.